now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
And now for a taste of things to come.
What's going on, everybody, and thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios YouTube channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, thanking each and every one of you for coming back today and joining me here in the theater. Now, today, we're going to continue our journey in the merry old land of Oz with a double feature. As I mentioned previously, I've looked up the chronological timeline based on when events happen, not when the movies were made. As I said yesterday, I already know there's going to be discrepancies between the films going in, but that's to be expected when you have three different movie studios, MGM, Disney, and Universal, all handling the stories. So today's film is the second film in the timeline, Wicked, and it stars Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Jonathan Bailey, Ethan Slater, Marissa Bode, Michelle Yeoh, and Jeff Goldblum. And our movie opens in the Land of Oz, as Glinda the Good, played by Ariana Grande, joins the citizens of Munchkinland as they celebrate the death of the Wicked Witch of the West. When asked whether wickedness is inherent or learned, Glinda explains that the witch was the product of an affair between Governor Throp's wife, Melina, played by Courtney May Briggs, and a mysterious traveling salesman. The salesman offered Melina a green elixir, causing the witch to be born with green skin. Ostracized from birth for her skin and impulsive use of her magical powers, the witch fostered a wish to meet the Wizard of Oz, the ruler of Oz famed for his power to grant wishes. When the Munchkins ask if Glinda was friends with the witch, Glinda begins to reflect on their relationship. We then go back in time to years earlier as the green-skinned Elphaba Throp, played by Cynthia Erivo, escorts her younger sister Nessa Rose, played by Marissa Bode, to her first day at Shiz University. Nessa Rose's paraplegia causes the staff to patronize her, prompting an emotional outburst of Elphaba's powers. The Shiz's Dean of Sorcery Studies, Madame Morrible, played by Michelle Yeoh, offers to enroll and privately tutor Elphaba in sorcery. Elphaba accepts, hoping that she can fulfill her dream of working with the wizard one day. Now, Elphaba clashes constantly with her roommate, the popular Galinda Upland, who longs to become Morrible's student. One day, Elphaba follows the history professor, Dr. Dillamond, a talking goat voiced by Peter Dinklage, who faces discrimination as one of Shiz's last animal professors, to a meeting of animals off campus. Learning the animals are somehow losing their ability to speak, Elphaba assures Dillamond that the wizard will set it right. Rebellious prince and transfer student Fiyero Tigalar, played by Jonathan Bailey, takes a group of students to a party at the Ozdust Ballroom nightclub. Bach Woodsman, played by Ethan Slater, a munchkin, asks Galinda to accompany him in order to ensure that she can offend with Fiyero. Galinda convinces him to invite Nessa Rose. Now, Nessa Rose is overjoyed, and in thanks, Elphaba convinces Morrible to allow Galinda to study sorcery as well. When she is ridiculed at the Ozdust for wearing an ugly black hat, which was gifted by Galinda as a practical joke, a remorseful Galinda dances with her, and the two begin to bond. When Dillamond informs the class that animals are no longer allowed to teach at Shiz University, he is forcibly removed from the classroom and replaced by the unscrupulous Professor Nicodic, played by Colin Michael Carmichael, who demonstrates a cage containing a frightened lion cub, designed to prevent animals from learning to speak. Elphaba angrily spins poppy dust over the room and escapes with Fiyero when the class falls unconscious. They release the cub into the forest, and Elphaba laments her unrequited feelings for Fiyero, who has chosen Galinda. Elphaba receives an invitation from the wizard, who's been made aware of her powers by Morrible. She arrives in the Emerald City with Galinda, now calling herself Glinda, in misguided solidarity with Dillamond, who constantly mispronounced her name. Their meeting with the wizard, in which they're surprised to learn that he's just an ordinary man, played by Jeff Goldblum, is witnessed by Morrible. They urge Elphaba to cast a levitation spell from the Sacred Grimoire, a spell book that only powerful sorcerers can read and comprehend, causing the wizard's monkey guards to painfully sprout wings. As the wizard and Morrible rejoice over their newfound ability to use the monkeys as spies, Elphaba realizes that they are the ones behind the animals' oppression, and that the fraudulent wizard, unable to read the Grimoire and lacking real magic of his own, used her to subjugate them further. A horrified Elphaba seizes the Grimoire and flees. Glinda follows Elphaba, who refuses to apologize to the wizard, as Morrible denounces her to all of Oz. Elphaba tries to escape the Emerald City in the wizard's hot air balloon, but the way up is barred and the balloon burns up. High in a palace attic, Elphaba repeats the levitation spell on a broom. She urges Glinda to come with her, but Glinda chooses to remain behind. The two share an emotional farewell before Elphaba flies west. Fiero leaves Shiz on horseback amidst a mass evacuation, while Governor Throp, played by Andy Nyman, suffers a heart attack when he and Nessa Rose receive the news as the movie comes to its close. Now, we're only in the second film of the timeline, and we've already got a few continuity errors. In Oz the Great and Powerful, it's implied that the Cowardly Lion is the one that attacks Finley, the flying monkey. In this film, it's rumored that the Cowardly Lion is the lion cub in the cage, gaining its cowardice from being locked up and taunted. Also, Finley is already a flying monkey, and in this movie, it establishes how the monkeys got their wings. In Oz the Great and Powerful, the yellow brick road already exists. In this film, the wizard is attempting to decide what color of bricks he should use to build the road. The film has to be second because the wizard already exists in the land of Oz and is the man with no real powers like Oscar in the previous film. So it's safe to assume that this is still Oscar as the Wizard of Oz. Now, despite the continuity errors, I still enjoyed the movie, and I'm not traditionally a fan of musicals. Obviously, I knew what I was getting into, so it didn't bother me. What I do find interesting is that basically everything that we thought we knew, based on the 1939 Judy Garland film, got flipped on its head here. Glinda is a spoiled bitch, straight up. All of the quote-unquote good guys are villains here. Elphaba is the good guy. She's doing the right things for the right reasons, and because she doesn't share the wizard's vision, she becomes vilified and called wicked. I give Wicked 4 out of 5 stars here. But tell me, what do you guys think of Wicked? Have you seen it? Let me know. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that discourse, that engagement, that interaction that I'm always seeking from you, my loyal viewers. Make sure you leave a thumb up and a comment of some type on the video, as it'll help boost my visibility in YouTube's algorithms and recommend my videos to other people who like movie reviews that maybe don't know about the Casa D18 Studios channel. And until next time, when we return to the theater for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios YouTube channel, I have been your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, thanking y'all for joining me and tuning in, and I will see you at the top of the half hour for the second part of our double feature.